What if I told you that one simple rule, just one, could be the difference between ending up rich or staying poor in a world of Bitcoin? It's not about timing the market. It's not about finding the next altcoin gem. It's not even about how much Bitcoin you buy. The rule is so simple, yet so few follow it. And the ones who do, they are the ones retiring early, the ones escaping inflation, the ones no longer trading time for money. So in this video, I'll break down exactly the one rule that separates Bitcoin winners from losers, why most people fail to follow it and don't even realize it, and how I personally apply it, and how you can too, even with little money. So stick around until the end, because I will show you real examples of people who broke this rule and paid the price. But first, a quick disclaimer, this video is not financial advice. I'm just sharing what I've learned and how I approach my Bitcoin investing journey, and never invest more than you are willing to lose. So let's get into it. What is the magical rule? Buy Bitcoin, never sell. That's it. Sounds simple, right? But it's insanely hard in practice, because this rule goes against everything we have been taught about money, markets, even human behavior. See, rich Bitcoiners understand something that average investors don't. Wealth in Bitcoin isn't made by trading. It's made by holding through pain. Let's break it down. Over the past 10 years, Bitcoin has gone from a few $100s to over $100,000. And yet most people who bought Bitcoin just aren't rich. Why? Because they didn't hold. They sold when it doubled, or when it dropped, or when they got scared, distracted, or greedy. They broke the rule. Meanwhile, the richest Bitcoiners, the ones you now hear on podcasts or see on Forbes, they didn't outsmart the market. They simply followed the rule. They bought Bitcoin and never sold. So if it's that simple, why doesn't everyone do it? Because the rule is psychologically brutal. Let me give you 5 reasons why most people fail to follow it. 1. Volatility. Bitcoin drops 30, 50, even 80% sometimes. If you're not mentally prepared, you panic. 2. Social pressure. When your friends are buying stocks, real estate, or even new cars, holding Bitcoin can feel lonely. You feel like the crazy one. 3. Media noise. Headlines like Bitcoin is dead or crypto is a scam flood the news during every correction. It shakes your confidence. 4. Get rich quick temptations. Altcoins, meme coins, NFTs promise fast gains, but every time you jump ship, you break the rule. 5. Short-term thinking. Poor investors think in days, weeks or months. Rich Bitcoiners think in decades. The mindset shift is critical, because Bitcoin is not a lottery ticket. It's a multi-decade revolution in money. And those who treat it that way are the ones who win. That's what I truly believe. So let me tell you a story. In 2013, a man named Christopher from Norway bought 5,000 Bitcoin for just $27. He forgot about it, and years later he checked back in. Bitcoin exploded. He was sitting at millions and millions of dollars. But here's the crazy part. Most people who bought Bitcoin early sold early. They didn't become millionaires. They became "I could have been rich" stories. So what did Christopher do differently? He didn't sell. He forgot about it, left it alone. And that forgetfulness became the best financial decision of his life. Here's what that story teaches us. The rich don't obsess over price. They obsess over time. They understand the power of exponential growth, compounding, and holding through cycles. Let's compare the mindsets. The poor Bitcoiner holder checks the price, I would say 10 times a day, buys high during hype, sells low during fear, thinks Bitcoin will make them rich next week, constantly jumps into altcoins, breaks the rule second the emotion kicks in. The rich Bitcoin holder ignores short-term noise, buys consistently regardless of price, has a 10+ year time horizon, understands Bitcoin is about preserving wealth, not flipping it, holds through every crash, dip and bear market. That's the real rule. In practice, it's not just don't sell. It's don't let your emotions sell for you. So let me share with you how I personally apply this rule, especially in 2025 when Bitcoin is hovering around 120k and volatility is high. 1. Automatic stacking. I set up a weekly auto buy, small consistent amounts. No overthinking, just stacking. 2. I love cold storage. I think it's a mental lockbox. The majority of my Bitcoin is off exchanges. In cold storage, it's not just safer, it's a psychological harder to sell. And I think that's the point. 3. No price checking. I removed Bitcoin price widgets from my phone. If I don't check the price, I don't stress. I stay focused on the long term. 4. Life before Lambo. I remind myself I'm not here to flex. I'm here to be free. Every Bitcoin I hold is time. I'm buying back in the future. You can do this too, even if you start at $5 or $10 a week. The amount doesn't matter. The habit does. Let's flip it around for a second. What happens if you don't follow the rule? You sell too early, you think you're locking in profits, but you're actually cutting yourself off from the life-changing upside. You sell out of fear, you miss the recovery, you chase back in higher prices, you're stuck in loop of emotional trading, you lose conviction, and every time you sell, you weaken your belief. And that leads to poor decisions in every market cycle. I know people who bought 10 Bitcoin in 2017 and sold at $20,000 thinking they were geniuses. They probably were. But guess what? They missed the run to $69,000. They panicked again in the bear market. And now they're sitting on regrets. Remember, the enemy of wealth isn't risk. It's breaking your own strategy. Now, let's be honest. Are there any exceptions to this rule? Yeah, but a few. Here are the only ones I would consider selling Bitcoin. 1. To buy freedom. If I had enough to quit a job I hate, travel with family, or buy time, I would consider taking profits. 2. To escape crisis. If you need urgent medical care or had no other assets, I might sell a portion. 3. To diversify when truly wealthy. If my Bitcoin holdings grew over 90% of my total net worth, I might rebalance slightly, but only after generational wealth is secured. But even then, the core strategy stays the same. Stack Bitcoin, hold it, don't sell unless it's for something that gives you back control over your life. Here's what I believe. By 2030, Bitcoin will separate global middle class into two camps. One is those who held Bitcoin through chaos, stayed patient, and are now financially free. 2. Those who doubted, sold early, or never bought at all, and now feel left behind. It won't be about trading skills, timing the top, or following the latest influencer. It's about who stuck to the one rule and who didn't. So now I will ask you, will you follow the one rule? Will you buy Bitcoin and never sell? Not because it's trendy, not because of hype, but because of your belief in what it represents. Financial sovereignty, censorship-resistant money, a hedge against inflation, and a once-in-a-generation transfer of wealth.